Hello, students. This is Professor Patti from Social Work 626, Advanced Generalist Practice with Communities, where we talk about how we're going to engage our communities in discussing the things we say about them when they're not in the room. So social work is person in environment, which we don't say anymore for some reason. Social work is strengths focused, which a lot of people say that they are too. Other professions say. Social worker is trauma informed, which means that we understand that people and communities have good reason to trust or not trust social workers, and that we're not always aware of what those reasons are. So as we move from assignment 1 to assignment 2 to assignment 3, I'm really looking as your professor to see how your understanding of this process is changing as you engage more with the community. So assignment 1, we do the textbook thing. We look at Neo-Can-Do. We have maps, we have figures, we have demographics. Assignment 2, we engage with community members, some formal and informal stakeholders, and say, what more do we need to know about this? What more do we need to know about our community to even know what questions to ask? Assignment 3, I don't love that this is a paper. This is not like my heart's desire. My heart's desire is that we are in class talking about it and engaging and discussing with peers, because in this work, it is social work. It is a social science. We're understanding the sociology of it. And so we need to question our role as a participant researcher, because we're being social scientists in this. In social work, boundary crossings are going to happen. You are going to be referred to someone who went to grade school with you. You are going to engage in a role in your community. You're going to be biased, right? Whenever there is a boundary crossing, as social workers, we discuss it, we staff it, we peer review it, we extrovertedly process the information and say, this is what I'm saying. Does that look accurate to you, right? And then we document, made a decision to adapt our program, made a decision to stay on course, and here's why. So at this point of assignment 3, I want you guys reassessing based on the intervention you've had with your community so far, one of the social problems identified in your summary for a more in-depth analysis. And I have in Blackboard, I have Blackboard somewhere. I have in Blackboard in the course content folders required readings, recommended readings, related readings, and they're in the weekly course content. I hope it's 2-factor. Wow. I haven't not had 2-factor authenticate in a long time, folks. I know you're living in the same world I'm living in, right? All right, so in my course content, I'm going to show you an example, and I just went through and reopened a few of them because I saw I had made them unreadable. Oh, look at this. You guys can read that. This article, Food and Music Matter, Affective Relations and Practices in Social Justice Organizations. It's from 2016 and it's in Module 8. I have yet to see a community that would not relate to. I do not care if they are peer reviewed. We say peer reviewed all the time. Peer reviewed is one of the requirements for CEGO now. If I'm going to do a training on how to pass the social work exam, I need 3 peer reviewed articles on how to pass it. Right? What is more important to me is it is scholarly and it is qualitative. It is peer reviewed. That is a bonus above and beyond. But any of the articles that I have included in any of the modules, you can cite as a source. You can also cite specific things to your organization. Yeah, so here's some more articles. I really wanted to show you my Gandhi one because that is the one I get the best feedback on from grad school students that like is so helpful. We're going to make this available. The Gandhian ethics. We are an ethical profession. I feel like the Gandhian ethics aligns really well with the social work je ne sais quoi. And a lot of my students tell me at the end, like, that was really helpful in helping me understand the language to engage with my community and explain and kind of objectively think about why I'm making the choices I'm making. And also, Gandhi is a flawed human who is not perfect, and there's a lovely NPR piece, which is, not peer reviewed, and yet it's going to deepen your knowledge on the project. So use any of them that you can find. If you're not coming up, if you have meta-analyses, super duper. If you have research from another country that kind of relates or it relates not exactly. So let me think. Drug courts are an excellent example. We have evidence-based drug courts in the state of Ohio based on, I don't know, if you are a substance use provider and you absolutely know that your method works other than people methods work, like that's like saying you know how to predict what the stock market's going to do, right? We know with some degree of certainty, but we then replicated drug court for mental health court in the state of Ohio, and that's evidence-based, right? But we run it exactly the same. And having a severe and persistent mental illness like schizophrenia, disorganized type, is a different kind of brain disorder than having a heroin addiction, right? So the treatments should not look the same, but they are the same. And the way that Cuyahoga County does their mental health court is not in accordance, because it's in accordance with other research, but it's not evidence-based. So I have lots of research articles, and I did a program. I developed a program, so I had to know a lot of the research behind it and say, this is why I chose not to follow this model. This is why I chose this model, because the feature I'm looking for is recidivism. No, is cognitive change. Yeah, it doesn't include trauma-informed characteristics and doesn't include data from the Center for Excellence on Prevention of Suicide through the VA.org. So I wasn't looking at necessarily mental health. I wasn't looking at the court. But I had a lot of other collateral information that helped me make my decision. So I don't need you to say I'm working in Illinois, and so I have 3 peer-reviewed articles about working with people in the Midwest, right? They don't all have to be on topic like that. I would rather it be meaningful scientific research that contributes to explaining your decision-making. And like, really, most people do fantastic. I don't deduct a lot of points, but if I'm giving you feedback on yours and you see me typing, that means I'm so excited because you've already made me think that you're looking at these things, and I want to help you contribute to the questions you're asking around it. APA guidelines, please don't cite work as your own. That's really my recommendation. So that's assignment 3.